Okay, folks, just doing this in one take. I figured I'd keep myself honest and just do the update video. Uh, I've just got in, just made myself a brew, and let's just chat. Uh, so last time we spoke in a one-on-one video, uh, weren't doing so great, to be honest. Was not doing great at all. Basically, completely imploded, and I have no shame in admitting that. I think it's good if people can admit their weaknesses and their strengths, and we can be honest about stuff. I was not doing well. I had a really, really bad 6 months, and I don't know what happened. I've never experienced it in my life. It was stress. And I know people say, "Oh, bro, what have you got to be stressed about?" It's just life, and you know, oof, I've been stressed before, and I've been up and down, and I've been low. This was different. This was like I imploded, and I couldn't do anything. And I've had to dial back everything. Um, and without getting too personal, oof, um, over the past couple of weeks, I've felt flashes of oh, I'm back. Like there's a little bit of me there that I remember, if that makes sense. Now, I'll be honest with you. One of the large contributing factors to this whole shenanigans was a woman. The guys out there that are over 30 or like around my age are like, oh, I get that. Now, if you're, you know, on the dating scene, you're dating, maybe you're happily married, whatever, yeah. For me, it had been a while, and I've not really dated anybody, and I've basically just about 2 months ago now, more than 2 months, I had to dump somebody, and I didn't want to, but I had to, and that's a different feeling for me. So when you're younger and you're dating or you're going out or you're just hooking up or whatever, you're just having a laugh and it's all good fun, and like you have some hookups with a girl, you take them on some dates, and then they just kind of like ghost or they fade out, or you decide that you're both not right for each other. Okay, you kind of like, well, that was bad, but hey, bro, I still, still hooked up, still had some fun evenings with the girls, still went out to the movies with her, still went for a meal, walked about with her. It felt good. I felt confident. Yeah, and then you move on. When you're like my age and you're trying to find somebody that you actually think is decent, and honestly, hooking up and all that stuff is meaningless. Like that is just, when you're growing up, that's just like par for the course. Like that's just something that happens naturally when you connect with somebody, and it's not a big deal anymore. Um, you you look for the connection, you look for the kindness, and you look about future wife, fiance. You start to think like, could I build something with this person? Have they got my back? And the long and short of it, because I don't want to get into a whole load of detail online, the long and short of it is pre-COVID, we couldn't meet, and we spoke every day for like a year. We met, okay? It wasn't great, I'll be honest. We met, it wasn't as good as it was on the chats. I didn't really feel anything, but it had been a while. I had all my crap with COVID where I had bloody couldn't eat, couldn't drink, so I couldn't take her anywhere to any places. If we went anywhere, I was just not being able to eat or drink. I couldn't really go anywhere. It was weird. The whole COVID times were weird. You're trying to meet somebody new and gel with them. They've got their own thing because she was older than me. This well, yeah, and you're trying to mishmash all this together. And we had a few dates, and I didn't see her for quite a while. We kept in contact. We thought, maybe it was just like it was nice to meet you after all this time talking, yada yada, but maybe not. After a while, I was kind of like, nah, like, maybe I was just going through a lot or whatever. I do want to meet you. And then we carried on meeting, and it was really good. And for a year, really good. Then once like the whole world had opened back up, long and short of it, she linked back with like her small friend group. I feel like they influenced her, but there was a lot going on. I don't really want to sound like an idiot online, because when you call somebody narcissistic, it sounds like you're just mad at your ex or whatever. But genuinely, I actually went through, in a strange way, a bit of an abusive relationship. And I don't know if anyone's ever been through this with kind of a narcissistic emotional abuse kind of person. You kind of don't want to leave. And I knew it was bad for me, but you're kind of thinking, well, I haven't got anybody else. I've invested in this person. I should stick with it. I should make it work. And I could tell you a million stories, but it eventually got to a point where I had to say to her, we had a meeting, a meet. It was like December. I had food, bought food. We went, had coffee, went for a walk, yada yada. She was really, really enjoying herself. She thought it went great, and the whole time I was thinking, this is horrific. Like, this person completely changed from the person that I knew. It just completely felt way differently. It weren't flirty. It weren't anything. It felt like I was going out with a friend that was been dragged out, but yet she was telling me she was enjoying it, but it just, nothing felt right. Couple this with like 6 months of kind of abuse, to be honest, guys, like just like silent treatment, not like denying dates, all this stuff, lying about being on Tinder, all this stuff, yeah. And eventually I just was like, I had the meet, and I was like, yo, this is so done. Like, this sucks. But this person's completely changed. It's not someone I want to spend the rest of my life with. It's going to really hurt, because when you're a bloke and you're on your own, and you feel like you've connected with somebody, most guys would just carry on and just think, well, if we've been blunt, oh, I'm getting some action, things are going all right, what's the big deal? Like, a lot of blokes might just go, well, whatever, I'll just palm her off, I won't pay attention to the texts, I won't call at lunchtime, and I'll just, I'll just get a bit of action and whatever. But for me, like, I'm actually like, all that side of things, like I say, is just by the by. If you find the right person, that stuff's going to happen anyway. It's you don't need to be obsessed with that. And for me, like, she was wanting to see me again. Like, she was like, oh, the next time I see you, I'm going to have a new car. It'd be really good to see you, but I can't see you over the whole of Christmas. This is like from December to mid-January. I can't see you because I'm busy. And I'm like, all right, so you don't want me to get you any Christmas gifts, any presents? You don't want me to see you over Christmas, go to any Christmas markets? You don't want to do anything because you're that busy? No. I said, oh, okay then, don't worry about it. And I was just so over it. And she was still wanting to meet me. And then in the end, I just basically, after a few days after the meet, I sort of just said to her, hey, listen, like, it's been really nice, but the way things are now, like, for months and months and months, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't keep trying. So if there's basically any last words, mate, or there's anything you want to say to save this or talk about it or be a grown up, like, if you're feeling anything, be a pretty good time, because I'm about to check out because I can't do it. And she just went, basically, mate, she just went, oh, I can't believe you've brought this drama to me on the day that I want to, and so YouTube doesn't, ban the video, unalive myself. I can't believe you've brought this on me. And I thought, that is just ridiculous, man. Like, and it was just like a whole, thing. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm really sorry you're feeling like that or whatever, but you treated me like a pile of shit for 6 months. Like, I can't do it. And yeah, I just had to let them go. And there's a whole story there about her waiting for Christmas morning to tell me, oh, me and my girlfriends have decided that you're really bad. And so I'm gonna actually remove you and block you. And I'm like, this woman is like older than me, and she's getting her friends to make her decisions. There's a whole load of stuff going on there. And I'm really, really, really surmising it to a point where it probably doesn't even make any sense. But the main gist of it was I was not happy. And for once in my life, I'm following my own advice of I got to look after myself. And as flashes of happiness I had with her, the overriding feeling was like, this girl just doesn't think I'm enough. And so, well, I'm just going to leave then. Like, I'm not really putting up with that. And so that sucked, because then obviously in the coming months you think, should I have just carried on? Maybe it would have smoothed itself out. Should I have texted her? Should I have should I have done this? Should I have done that? And the reality was, it didn't matter what I did. I'm not just saying it, like, I am a decent bloke. I was pretty much perfect, mate. I didn't do anything that I can think would upset anyone, you know. Little things like when she's stressed and she says she can't meet for 2 months, I make like gift packages to like de-stress her of her favorite things. I take them to her, you know, and then you get in the car and she's just standoffish, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, you're not even like kissing to greet me or anything. Oh, I've got a cold. But then like, so then like any guy out there would like be, bro, she just ain't that into you. Q next week, she's all over me, and it's like that you're the best guy ever. I've never been treated like this. You know, I feel special. This is amazing. And then when finally had to end it all, her last words were this, which were the most confusing thing, just to sum her up. Me and the friends have decided that you're really bad for my mental health. You don't appreciate anything I do. All of this. But no matter what you say, or no matter if you end it, nothing will ever change how unbelievably brilliant this experience was and how amazing it was. And I'm like, well, if it's that good and you're enjoying it that much, what are you doing? And it just got to this push-pull nonsense. And I had to let her go. And that sucks, because you think you found like your person, but you ain't. And like now, for the first time since probably this started in like September, probably mid-August actually. This was probably mid-August this started. I'm finally beginning to like see a bit more clearly and be like, you know, yeah, I did make the right decision, because ultimately it doesn't really matter what, you know, what's going on and this and that. If you're not feeling it for whatever reason, that's that. And if I ever tried to raise the point of, hey, I really like this and I like you, but there's just this little thing here that you keep doing, and that's, I won't get into it, but really like offensive and rude and nasty. And it would just be like, yeah, I don't need this drama. And anything emotional, anything like connection wise, was just deemed as too much. Like, and I was like, well, if you just don't want all the emotion and you don't want all the caring and you don't want the lunchtime phone calls, unfortunately, and this is where I'm standing up for myself, and maybe you guys will understand what I'm on about, because some of you might think I'm being an idiot, but some of you blokes will understand that I'm not gonna ring you at lunch, text you morning and night, pick up the phone, buy gifts, pay for all your dinner, pay for your fuel. I'm not gonna like give you like the full, basically like romantic experience if you can't be kind to me. Like, if you want to detach all emotion and just meet and do whatever, then like I said to her, I said, that's cool, but we've got to explain that, because I can't give you all of this, because doing all of this for somebody, even if it in not a selfish way, you kind of want it reciprocated. you're not doing the nice things for them to get something back. But eventually, when you keep doing stuff for somebody and nothing's coming back, you think, what the hell am I doing? It devalues you. You feel like an idiot. You feel like you're doing all this and they're just like palming you off. And so I had to get myself out of that situation. And I am glad I did. I'm starting to feel better. And once you've come out of like the cloud, you realize like there was a lot wrong. There was a lot of signs I missed, and if I'm being honest, it was because I was in such a low point in my life when I originally met this girl that any sort of attention and love and care was like, wow, this is amazing. But actually, when I look back, it was like, it was just like not even... it was just like bare minimum type of stuff, and I don't want to be like one of those girls on TikTok that say, oh, the bare minimum, but genuinely, like, you could meet her like once a month, and then you meet her and be like, oh, it's really nice to see you, I've missed you, and she'd be like, it's been a month, that's not very long. And I'd be like, that's quite a long time, you know. And then like she'd like flip it on you. She was a very, in a way, clever, logical person. A lot of what she said makes total sense. So your brain starts to go, oh, well, that actually doesn't make sense. But it kind of doesn't. Like, for example, there was just some stuff, yeah, and very logical person, very upfront, which I like. You know, I like like I say, I'm not after some 20-year-old idiot. I like a proper woman, an older woman, or like, you know, my age. Like, we're not talking 50 or 40, mate, but she was just a bit older than me. And I like someone that knows what they're after and what they want. And so, like, it was good, clear communication at first. But then it just became, like, ridiculous. Like, I'm not even getting into how ridiculous it was. But let me tell you, it takes a lot for a guy to say, you know, that's getting, like, whatever you want to call it, regular action or whatever these cringe terms are these days. It takes a lot for a guy to go, I'm just going to stop doing that because you're actually annoying me so much that I'm going to blow up with stress. And so that's what I did. And so the past few months I've been all right. I've been up and down and here and there, but I'm getting all right now. In terms of gaming, I've just been playing whatever I fancy. Most of the games I've been playing have been League of Legends, Path of Exile, and I've been playing this new genre of game called like auto shooters, where you kind of survive. I've heard about GGZII on the PlayStation. That'd be pretty good if that happened. I think it'd be good to grow the game. Don't know why they don't jump on more trends and grow the game like these auto shooters and stuff. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to like sit here and totally like shit talk somebody I cared about. That's not what this is. You know, you don't want to like finish with somebody and like be all nasty. That's just not who I am. Yeah, she kind of was nasty. It wasn't great. But all in all, I learned a lot. We did have some really nice experiences. I don't think she's this evil person or anything like that. I just think, unfortunately, you know, people have baggage. Like I say, if you're 35 and you're still not sure what you want and you struggle to talk emotionally and connect, and you have a lot of these things, that's totally fine. I'm far, far from perfect, and I'm a very understanding person. But if you're not willing to work on it or even just be kind, I can't be there. Like, I like a good person. All my friends are good people. I have a small group of friends. I all trust them. I know they're good people. And yeah, like that's what I've got to do. Just stick to my own words of, hey, I'm going to look after myself type of thing. And so what I've been doing is just that. I've been looking after myself. The next thing I need to do is I need to buy another car. And what I'm thinking is not like financing a nice car. I'm thinking of just buying like a 800 to like 1,000, maybe £2,000 car, and just buying it outright and just building my no claims back up and just getting out and about a bit, you know, getting the confidence up with the travel, because it's been a while since I've driven. I'd probably take some relearner lessons because it's just been a while and I wouldn't feel confident on the road. And I'm thinking about just like getting a little runaround car. That might be good. I could go to the gym, sort myself out, that kind of stuff. And maybe I could do a few little vlogs, that type of stuff, you know what I mean? Like just chats in the car or whatever. I don't know if I'll do that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to not pressurize myself. As I explained in that video quite a few months ago, I really, really massively pressurize myself with everything I do. And so what I'm trying to just do is take it one step at a time. At the moment, I'm dealing with a relationship, and I've ended up speaking to some people that have gone through similar. And I actually I've met some people through this that have been through certain similar stuff, and that's been helpful. So I've tried a bit of Stormgate. I'm looking at Helldivers 2, but apparently the servers are awful. But how I would describe this person's mindset, and I know I don't want to like shit on them, but I had it explained to me by somebody. Imagine you want a coffee. You might think about your coffee machine. You might make the coffee, think about the coffee machine, enjoy the coffee machine, enjoy the coffee. You might think about having another coffee at some time. But then once you've drank it and you've finished and you've decided, okay, that was really nice and pleasant, I'm going to do something else now. You don't ever walk around the streets thinking about your coffee machine until it's needed. And that's how I felt. And that's how this person treated me. It was just, we're having a lovely, amazing time. You know, you're having like romantic meals, you're smooching away, you're doing all this. And then once they've done with that experience, they just leave and go back to their normal life, and then they just want to pick it back up again and expected me to just pick it up like nothing. And after a while of like the push-pull, I was like, hey, I'm actually getting quite invested in you. So the whole push-pull thing doesn't really work. Either we're doing this or we're not. So that sucked. But I made the right decision. What I've done for my own sanity is just, I just blocked them on everything. At first I didn't, but I just thought, I don't want this person checking up on me. There's nothing of value going to come from it. And I know that myself because of what's happened in the past with this person. I can't, even if for some bizarre, miraculous reason, after months and months, they were to come back and say, hey, I've changed, everything's amazing, let's do this, I wouldn't be able to forget all of the stuff that's gone on previously. And so that just doesn't work, does it? You know. So, that's what's been going on, dealing with that. I'm actually enjoying my games a bit more. I'm enjoying streaming a bit more, and that's why, I mean, I said I weren't going to make any, I was only going to make the videos I've wanted, and I think in 3 months, I've made 2, 4, 6, 8, I've made 11 videos. Some have been a couple minutes long, some have been 20 minutes long, and I've just made the video when I fancy making the video. And to be honest, for my channel, my views have been alright. We've had a couple 7,000 views one, some 15,000 view ones, which for a channel like me is really good. And I just do anything. Like, I don't have a theme on the channel. Like, I'll do an RTS video and then a how to level in Path of Exile video. Like, it's just whatever I fancy doing. And I've enjoyed that process of just, like I say, in a really weird way, guys, like sticking up for yourself. Like, for the longest time, I don't even know if anyone's still listening, but for the longest time, I've always thought if you're nice, you just kind of bend over for people. You bend over backwards and you say, sure, like, I understand. Like, if somebody came to me, like, let's say her, and said, hey, I'm feeling unbelievably stressed this time. I can't see you for like 2 months. I would just chat about it every night. I'd call her, I'd give her all help and everything. But actually, there becomes a point where you've got to say, let's do this together, because this isn't helping me, and I'd prefer to help you in person. And if you don't want that, well, that you're not the person for me, because I want to be the person that helps you in person. I don't want to be distant and drift and yada yada. And that's like in streaming and content and just your day-to-day life. Like, for example, I left a job recently because of all this that was going on. Yes, that didn't help, but I was just been ran over, and I was fixing stuff and doing stuff that no one else could do. And it's not that you do it for appreciation, but you feel like when you're a nice person and you go in above and beyond, you just have the piss taken out of you. And I used to think putting up a boundary was like really rude. Like, for example, if somebody came in the stream and I was like not feeling the webcam, if somebody talks, I'm like, shit, I've got to put the webcam on and talk and really ramp up my energy, or I'm being rude because I'm not respecting their time, or yeah, like, whereas now what I'm just doing is, if I don't fancy it, I don't fancy it. I don't know if he's watching, to be honest, but there was somebody that's watched my channel for a while, and because I was going through all this relationship stuff, I actually got in touch with somebody, and they reached out and we had a conversation, and I ended up following and watching their stream for a little bit. And because I watched this person's stream, they then came to me, because I guess they didn't like this person, and were like, hey, I've watched you for a long time, but basically fuck you, I'm never watching you again, I'm unsubscribing. And normally I would have like tried to defend myself and explain and bend over backwards, but I didn't even respond to him, because I thought, you don't know the full situation of what I'm going through. You don't know why I'm talking to this person, or anything, and that's rude. And if you did care about me, you'd understand that I've been going through a lot, like in that video that I made where I was really upset, and that I've been going through some stuff and I've been working out like on myself, and I don't need that. I don't need that extra stress. And so I'm just trying to take away all the stress and like focus on small goals. This sounds like really daft, but like I have my notepad and I've got like the 5 or 6 things I want to get done each day. Small tasks. And I'm just trying to like re get going. Some of you might think, oh bro, you're 30, crack on with it, mate, get over it. But we're not all perfect, and sometimes you've got to take your time, and you got to survive, haven't you? Like, that's the ultimate thing. So there's some games I'm looking at, there's some stuff I want to play and that lot. But yeah, I just thought I'd give this update. As always, you can subscribe, you can like and comment. That'd be nice. It'd be good to hear some positive words or just anything. If you're interested in like sporting stuff, I do have another channel called The Zone. If you click my link tree, it'll have it in there somewhere. I think that's all I've really got to say. I don't want it to become like a slinging match about talking about an ex or talking about a partnership online or a relationship. Like, that's not who I am. I'm a decent, kind person. It didn't work out. It sucked. I tried my absolute best to make it work, but I'm beginning to learn. I'm learning the thing late, that you just have to protect yourself, and that doesn't mean being rude, and it doesn't mean not being caring, and it doesn't mean opening up to people, but it just means that if you know something is going to really affect you, you've got to stop it doing it. So for example, I knew certain things were affecting me, the distance, the gaps in messages, some of the words she'd say and phrases, and I would just let that happen because I would understand where she's coming from. But actually, you've got to say, hang on, this doesn't work for me. And that's what I've been kind of doing with like the whole content stuff. Hey, this isn't working for me. I've got to change some stuff. That's not me being rude or being awful. In fact, anyway, I think this is what all I've got to say, mate, is this sums it up, mate. I saw this statue in a local craftsman's shop, and I think that's all I've got to say, mate. I think you can get these on Amazon. They're pretty cheap, but he has like a little shop where he has like all these like these metal posters and stuff. This one says, "Please and thank you are magical words," and this one says, "Some people are like clouds. Once they fuck off, it's a beautiful day." So, yes.